Hi guys, George Glinski here from Toe the Line, joined today by Smudger Smith. Smudger, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just a nice Sunday early morning.
Good man, good man. Let's start off the way that we like to start off interviews here. How exactly did you get into BKB?
So, I've not actually wanted to box anymore. I quit my boxing when I was about 30 years old, and I decided that enough was enough, and I was spending more time with my family, and got into a bit of bother with some local lads who wanted to carry on, and just went from there. Really, I just decided to start training again because they were threatening to come back and have another go. I mean, it's still a possibility that they might still want it, but sometime in the future. But it is what it is. I kept myself on form. Had a few more fights. Decided to get back in the white collar scene and have a few fights on there. And I was tagged fucking shitloads with Jim and Joe on their post BKB, and a few lads that who knew about the BKB kept edging me towards it. So I thought, yeah, it's a valid route to go down. So here we are. Yeah. Had the first fight in September last year.
Awesome. And I think 3-2 now. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah. No. Yeah. 3-2. Sorry.
3-2. And I mean, this is your second prize fighter. So I have to ask, coming into this next one, how do you compare the quality of the last prize fighter to this one?
I think the fighter's ability are pretty much the same. I think like you got your James Kennelly and you got your Dan Chapman, obviously Ricardo Franco. You know, they were your main seeds, with myself included, I think. And then you had a couple of wild cards. Same as with this one, really. You've got a couple of lads that are coming in that no one really knows much about. They've got records in other combat sports, but they're still very unknown quantity. And the thing about it is, even though it's a different weight category, you've still got a lot of good pedigree in there. I mean, obviously Ben Grumble showed his worth in the last one with a brilliant performance against Tony Lafferty. Tony Lafferty brought his usual don't give a fuck march forward and swing attitude, which is always lovely to see. And then you have the likes of Paul Shredder, who's got quite a bit of a boxing background as well. So I mean, there's a lot of us still bringing a lot of technical ability to this prize fight as there was people in the last. So I think, you know, in terms of technicality, just the same, just a different weight class.
Yeah, and leading up to this fight, we'll move on to your opponent, Tony Lafferty. You guys are very good friends, and I mean, you were supposed to go off to Ibiza together. You know, everything's fantastic, and then you find out you're fighting. Is it difficult to fight someone you're such good friends with?
He wasn't meant to come to Ibiza, but he could have come out if he wanted.
My bad.
Nah.
Snaking a few people there.
Yeah, you just throwing some added fiction in it. It's not a problem. But yeah, Tony was always welcome if he wanted to come. Me and Tony, I think me and Tony got a decent understanding of each other because, you know, we're both like a good fight, be it a brawl or a boxing match. I think we'd both be comfortable regardless. His ex-force is the same as I am. He's been on tours. He's been through some of the same stuff I have. So all I can say is, you know, if you've got something in common with someone else, you're going to get on more or less straight away. So yeah, I think that's where we find our foundation for our friendship.
And another point on that, something a lot of people don't know is you are the first fighter to not be a debutant fighting Tony Lafferty. I mean, if we look at his previous opponents, he started off BKB against Matthew Seawright, who was actually not Matthew Seawright, he was a stand-in. It was Anthony Romeo. Then there was Johnny Lawson, Tyler Goodjohn, Scott McHugh, and then Ben Gumbrell, each of those guys on a debut. What difference do you think it will make him going against someone like yourself who's had 5 BKB fights compared to debutants of the past?
Well, I think there's two things you want to look at there really. Is one, I'm not just a debutant, I'm also the guy that's been the most active fighters in the last year. You know, so it's not just the fact that I'm not the first time in the ring, in the BKB ring especially. It's the fact that I've just had 6th fight in the space of 7 shows. So I'm battle hardened to be getting in there, being able to take the shots and roll the punches with him. So I think that makes a massive difference. The fact that most people get in there, like look at Scott McHugh since the fight with Tony. His first fight he was nervous. I can imagine Johnny Lawson was the same. I know it was a great fight between him and Tony Lafferty. He had even though it was his debut, he did all right, he did well. But coming into this, I don't really carry nerves. If anything in the back, if anyone sees me, then obviously I'm quite excited to get in there. I'm pleased to be fighting on this platform and being able to show good performance every time. Just in the back, just knowing that that's en route. I'm just on my way to get in that ring and have a good fucking bust up. It's music to my ears.
Yeah. So I guess the difference there being then the hesitation, and is that what you're suggesting?
So. Maybe people get a bit anxious. They get worried and anxious about what's going to happen in front of so many thousands of people, and then the audience at home as well on TV. Whereas, I suppose if you get in that ring, you should be prepared and be ready for criticism, regardless if you win, lose or draw. And I certainly am. So it's not a case of being nervous or anxious whatsoever.
So let's talk about training. I mean, the training ethic is something else. I've seen the sparring, I've seen the pad work, a lot of punches being thrown. But something very interesting about your training is you train a great deal with the bare knuckle, which a lot of fighters don't. I mean, to name one, for example, Daniel Lerwell, I believe he's with 18-ounce gloves throughout his entire camp. But you, Scott McHugh, and I think there's only really Darren Hendry, and maybe there might be a couple others that are, off the top of my head. But what do you feel? Do you feel it's important to train bare fist?
Yeah, I think it's just good to get your knuckles prepared. I've not had no break so far, so I can only say that what I'm doing must be right. And if I'd had breaks at this point, I maybe reconsider. But so far, it's worked for me. There's a certain bag in the gym that I use. It's an I Got Dom's bag. It's quite a hard, heavy bag. When you're hitting it, it feels like hitting the body pretty hard. Certain parts of it where it's not being hit so much, it's a lot more solid than it is in others. And I find myself hitting that, at least once every other week for doing at least 15 minutes of bare knuckle arm conditioning. So I'll just strap my wrists up and make sure my wrists are supported as it does in BKB, and I just throw away. And I find that my hand speed is pretty fast, especially on their bare knuckle, which is going to be the same as when you get in the ring. But yeah, other than that, I do actually train in 14s and 16s when I'm sparring. So I do get my speed up. I mean, Daniel Lerwell's a bit bigger than me, so you can imagine 18 ounces just the same as they are to me when I've got 14 and 16 ounces on. So I could probably say that's about the same. But yeah, so when I take my gloves off and I'm hitting the bag bare knuckle, I also get to see just how fast my hands are, which is always a confidence booster when you're hitting the bag as quick and as effective as you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's, for me personally, I mean, it's not for everyone. Obviously, we're all different, and this works for me. So
yeah, exactly. Let's talk about your previous opponent. It was a very interesting fight, a very fascinating character, shall we say, Jeff Chiffens. What was it like being in there with someone so unorthodox, someone who, I guess it's safe to say, didn't even know what he was doing at times? What was that like?
It's hard to explain. It was a case of, I knew the shots were going to come, I just didn't know where from. And I knew that he was going to catch me. I just didn't know how many times he was going to catch me. And luckily, I think he caught me once. The only shot I can really remember he caught me with was the first shot he threw. But quite clearly, I got my timing early on, and I realised that I just needed to stay within a certain range of him, let him throw, and then react. Just counter punch, and it worked really well. And then as soon as he felt the power, that was him. But preparing for him, there was no way I could prepare for him, so I didn't prepare for him. I just prepared for a fight. Thought that was just the easiest thing. I mean, a boxer will always beat someone who just brawls like that anyway. Who puts himself down as a street fighter. I mean, a street fighter can only fight for 30 seconds and the fight's done. So after about 40 seconds in that fight, you could see that he was in deep water.
Yeah. and fantastic performance. And I think what I find so fascinating about you, Smudger, is this belief that a lot of people have that you're just a brawler, but you are a boxer, and you do have a great deal of skill in there. I guess that wasn't necessarily the fight to show off that skill, but do you think we might be able to see that in the Tony Lafferty fight, or?
I hope so. Yeah. I'm
so.
looking to box him, but I've got in the backup. I've got the fact that I can have a fight and I can have a brawl. So a dangerous fighter is someone that can fight and box. Or whatever it is that their sport is. So say if you're an MMA fighter, I mean if you're technical jiu-jitsu, if you're technical at doing jiu-jitsu or you're technical at kickboxing or whatever, but if you need to get into a bit of a brawl and you need to get into the trenches, then you can do that. That's always a good backup to have. And I know that if I was to be brought into a brawl with Tony Lafferty, that it's going to be a bloodbath. So I'm prepared for both, and I'm ready for both.
Let's talk life outside of the ring. You are starting you've started a new business a week in now. Smudger's custom remapping, am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
Yeah, believe me, I've always been involved in the cars. I've had a lot of tuned up cars over the years, and I'm just trying to find an avenue that I could go down where I would be satisfying for me, and that I could obviously earn a good crush from without having to worry, so be able to provide for my family. And I just sat down one day and I thought, if there's anything I can do, why not go into something like mapping? Or I've actually got a few things I'm doing within the mapping as well. So I'm doing the coding and diagnostics for cars, and it's going really well, mate. Yeah, the advertising's brilliant. I've got a lot of word of mouth already. People are messaging and ringing me every day. So yeah, it's a great step in the right direction.
Yeah, we'll stick the details for that down in the description.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Really
no problem at all. To finish off, something that we don't usually speak about as much, and something that is really important to fighters: family. How do your family, perceive? How do they feel about your bare knuckle career?
It pisses my missus off at times because I'm on the phone a lot, and I'm always promoting. I'm probably one of the biggest promoters of BKB, I think, right now as well. I'm constantly on there. I reply to all my fans. I'm always working at it. So as you can imagine, it just starts to, it gets it down a bit. So I have to try and reel it in at times. But I'm naturally I'm always available to try and promote, and I'm naturally wanting to push the sport on because I love the sport so much. So it's hard for me to do that. It's hard for me to reel it in. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that they enjoy that I'm doing what I'm doing. But I think they should cap it a bit sometimes. My son loves it. My son does like going to school and letting people know that Daddy's a fighter and Daddy does this, Daddy does that. Come to the next fight actually, which is great to have him down there again. He comes to the James County fight, he didn't come to the last one, but he's come to this one. And he was good when he got told he couldn't come to the last one. So yeah, it's good to have him on board with this one. And I actually use this platform to get to my little girl that I don't see as well, which is a bonus to me because we don't talk, you see. So she's 14-year-old. I haven't seen her for a good number of years now, about 6 years. And hopefully this is the platform that she can maybe see me fighting on and actually get to see that I'm doing something good in my life, and that she'll want to come maybe see me one day. So that's another extra motivation for me.
Yeah, very difficult times, and I really appreciate the honesty and transparency.
No, that's good.
So, pleasure as always, and thank you for joining me, my friend.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Just be ready for a good fucking war on 16th of November because it's definitely going to be one of them.